Philosophers have said that there are only 7 stories that we keep retelling throughout history. Tonight, we're going to pick one and tell it again. This is The Treatment, a podcast about stories with your hosts, Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. The Treatment is filmed inside of a live studio audience.
Oh, I thought I could finish that swallow of cookie before you were done. I was wrong.
Honestly, that would have been the smart money. I talk a lot.
I know. I was ready for you to go into a review of our last film.
Well, now that you mention it, on the last The Treatment, we adapted The Three Little Pigs into the wildly successful Pig Party. The LA Times writes that Pig Party is still incredibly touching in its story of acceptance from both found family and birth family. It's still silly and amusing with a childlike innocence and purity of heart that appeals to both kids and adults.
Kids love cannibalism. Can't get enough of that. The found family of cannibals.
Bill, do you want to read for us what's on the wheel this week?
I should probably do that. Let me wheel the wheel out here. In no particular order, we have King Arthur, The Tortoise and the Hare, Jack and the Beanstalk, Prometheus, Little Red Hen, Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, The Great Gatsby, and Little Bo Peep. I feel like I may have said one of those twice.
You did not.
Good, thank you. Ready to spin that wheel?
Spin it.
I do have mild concerns why you're getting diaper ads, though.
Because we are gonna cover Little Red Hen.
Okay.
The wheel has spoken.
I believe that was one of yours, wasn't it, Cody?
Yes, the wheel likes me the best.
So you can explain to us what the Little Red Hen is.
The Little Red Hen is a story about a little red hen, the title character, who discovers some wheat and decides that she wants to make bread with it. And through the various stages of making bread, she asks for help from the other farm animals, and they all decline for whatever reason. Usually because they're not doing anything, and they don't want to help because they're lazy. But when it comes to the final step, which is, of course, eating the bread, she asks who wants to help her eat it, and they all say they will, and she says no. Only the people who get to eat it are the ones who helped me make it. The different variations that I've seen are she has chicks that help her, and so the chicks and she get to eat the bread while it rains on all the other animals, and there's also a variation where it's just her. So it's basically a story about hard work and personal initiative.
Alright, so how do we do this and not make it Ayn Randian?
Well, I have some thoughts, but before I get to them, I do want to point out that, as always, I was reading the Wikipedia outline while Cody was going from memory, and no, that's pretty much it. Like, spot on, exactly. One thing that I think is interesting to me, and maybe no one else, I think this is the first specifically American fable we've done on the pod, unless somebody can immediately point out that I'm wrong.
The Jersey Devil, but that's not a fable, that's...
Oh, yeah. I was going to say then this is also the most recent, but the Jersey Devil is more recent than this. This was originally published in 1874.
I think the Jersey Devil goes back to the 1860s.
Oh, well, then this is the newest so far.
I don't know how I feel about the pull 'em up by the bootstraps being the moral of our first American fable.
So, I wouldn't necessarily say the moral is pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. I think you can pull from it the moral of, if everyone helps out, everyone eats.
It's more socialist than Ayn Randian.
Yeah. It's not the Little Red Hen because she's the one making the bread, made a bread-making empire, which then gave her all of the power because she was the one in charge of the bread. And that's good. I think that's my reading of Rand.
So, like Mark, I was also checking the Wikipedia, and there is also an addendum. There are some versions where the Little Red Hen does give her friends another chance at the end, and says, you can help me eat the bread next time if you help me make it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, if we're going to move into the vibes question,
Yeah.
I feel like this is one where we can't get away from the fact that this is a story that has, like, a message.
Exactly.
And I think we should lean into it.
You're thinking young audience?
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking, this is going to be a terrible way to explain, but we bifurcate it. We tell kind of a two-story deal where we kind of flash to the story of the Little Red Hen, but we also have somebody in a modern setting, and we kind of intercut in between them. The Little Red Hen is a very simplistic. I mean, again, on Wikipedia, the plot is one paragraph.
Yeah.
So we don't.
You're pulling a Watchmen.
Yes, I'm pulling a Watchman. Thank you. That is a much better way to explain it.
Is what I'm thinking along those lines. Is it too aggressive of a framing device to have this person actually be a librarian or a teacher telling or teaching fables, or they're reading The Little Red Hen to a group of students or something?
No, I don't think it's too on the nose. I like it. I was originally, the thought that I just had was something about a union, maybe like a miners' strike, or something like On the Waterfront, where it's one person standing up and needing backup from, the solidarity kind of idea. Do you think that we're capable enough storytellers to thread that needle, or should we start looking in a different direction?
I think we can get somewhere with this. If we have our centerpiece character, if we're going to do like a union thing, set it in a modern context. Maybe she's working at a warehouse for an Amazon clone or something, single mom. And at night, she reads her kid The Little Red Hen. You know what I'm saying?
It's
there's a character built there that we
the
can work
pajama
around.
game during the day and Little Red Hen at night.
Yeah.
We could even, this might be complicating it a little bit, but we could even go person who's in HR who's explicitly getting pressure from both sides. Like, you've got the workers and she understands what the workers are looking for, but she's being pressured by upper management at the same time.
Like her job's being threatened.
Yeah.
The various nefarious ways that upper management likes to try and stop unionization efforts can be obstacles, like moving you to different shifts, different location, threatening to cut hours, all that sort of thing. I'm just trying to figure out how to relate that directly, like more directly to the story we're basing
Little
this
Red
off
Hen.
of. Yeah.
Right.
Well, in the Little Red Hen, all of the other animals are clearly being lazy. What if in real life, the real world version of it, we shade their laziness with nuance? Like, the cat is just taking a nap, okay? The cat, the person who is representing the cat actually is disabled and works at a slower pace. And it's an accommodation that they have to work at that slower pace.
Now I'm thinking of structure. And maybe we do have that one central character, but the story is told via, like, vignettes. So she'll read a page of, like, the little storybook version to her kid, and then we'll get a following vignette that takes place in this warehouse, or even if we want to stretch it out in this town, and how different members of this community are the different characters in the story she's reading to her kid.
Okay.
So yeah, we get one where the cat's being lazy, and then you see, like, somebody calling the cat lazy, and then the disabled thing, or it's somebody who just left their other job before, going home to 3 kids.
What's that horror anthology where it's little mini horror movies in between, and the thread is the devil as a child is being taken by a grandfather who's going to murder her?
That is Tales from the Hood 3.
That, yes. like Tales from the Hood vibe. You've got the stitching together part.
You have the framing device, and then you have shorts.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. It feels like French, which is weird because this is a very American story.
The only concrete thought that's currently in my head is that I want the hen parts to be animated, and I want the rest to not be. But I feel like that's obvious.
Yeah. So she starts reading, camera zooms into the page, and the drawings on the page come to life and animate out that section of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then as she's finishing the paragraph, it fades to live action, something happening in this community that relates to, thematically, that last page of the book. Now I feel like we need to actually get a book open, like with passages. Because it feels like we're about to come up with a bunch of vignettes, right?
I mean, the original version is available online. The version that was originally published in 1874.
Hmm.
I have just borrowed J.P. Miller's Little Golden Books, The Little Red Hen.
Yes.
Support your libraries, folks.
Let me know how many pages it is. Because we might want to trim some, but
24.
Yeah, we're going to trim some for sure. That's a lot.
Well,
the original is slightly less than 1.5.
How many pages have words in them? Because, I'm thinking of you remember the Little Golden Books, Mark? I know it was,
yes.
900 years ago since you were that age, but...
So, 19 of the pages have words on them, but 18 of the pages, because the last one is just the hen sitting in bed eating her bread.
Sorry, I want to see these as well. I can get a better vibe.
The 5 characters that she asks are the duck, the goose... Sorry, the 4 characters are the duck, the goose, the cat, and the pig. So I think that sets up pretty easily for 4 vignettes.
Yes. Plus, the bits that are just the hen.
You said duck, goose, dog, and pig?
Cat and pig are the version that I
Cat
have
and
here.
pig.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are their various traits?
So this is all based on illustrations.
I mean, in the text.
Yeah, that all they do is whenever she asks them a question, they say "not I," as in she asks "Will you help me plant this grain of wheat?" And the duck said, "Not I." She asked the goose, "Will you help me plant this grain of wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. So
Okay.
going off of the illustrations, it looks like they are holding paper swords. So it looks like they are literally playing, so they might be children. The cat is fishing, and the pig is having a picnic and playing the violin.
Okay, let's break it down a different way. Because in my head, she goes to the first animal and asks, "Will you help with step 1?" No. Second animal, "Will you help with step 2?" I figured she would just go back and do step 1 alone. Not that she was asking all 4 animals each time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are the things she asks? So she finds a grain of wheat. She wants help to plant it?
Yes, first is planting it.
Okay.
Next is reaping it.
Okay.
Next is taking it to the mill. Next is making it from flour into dough.
Okay.
Last is baking it. Well, second to last is baking it. And last is eating it.
Well, there's our 5 acts. That's something to build off. That's a story structure to build off. So are we going with unionizing a warehouse and how it affects the community, or do we want to go something different?
I feel like I want to go somewhere different, mostly because I don't understand the unionization process.
Yeah.
I know union good, I know union dangerous to start, but I don't know how you get from one point to the other. And
yeah.
I don't feel capable of building a story based on my ignorance.
I agree. I know a bit more than you, but it's not something I've ever done, and I'm not planning to do immediately if you're my boss and listening. So I also don't feel comfortable. Yeah.
So I think maybe instead our focus should be on class solidarity.
I'm okay with that.
So let me see if I can find this infographic I had found a long time ago about divisions. I don't even know how to Google it. I'm not gonna find it. But it was the different ways that, I'm trying to support 3 kids on 1 income. I've got massive student loan debt. I've third thing, and there were at least 5. And then the next step is I can't afford to X because of the first thing. And then yes, I will work dangerous conditions because I can't X because of the first thing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find that. Do you know the infographic I'm talking about?
I'm sure I've seen it once. But
it sounds familiar.
It's been a while. I'm thinking of these animals that aren't helping, and because with class solidarity, then we can do things like the duck is your boss, goose would be his boss, the owner of the company, cats would be the cops, and pigs would be the oligarchs. You know what I mean?
Like mouse.
Really? You're not gonna go with pigs as the cops?
I mean, pigs as billionaires metaphor is older than pigs as cops.
I found the image I was looking for.
Yes, it's up on our screen now. I am going to put a link to this in the description. so that other people can see what we're talking about.
And just to verbally describe it, and credit to Costa A Comics, it starts with desperate people, and there's like one labeled 6 months, no new start, high student debt, ATSI programs cut, high medical fees, 40 apps a month. Desperate people make desperate workers. And there's like a fat boss with feet up on the desk. Work for cheap, for pizza, down a mine, far from family. Sell us your land if we create jobs on it. And finally, distracted citizens. Climate change, I gotta pay rent. Disability rights, I gotta find a job. Land rights, I need to feed my kids. Refugees, I've got medical bills. Long-term problems, I got short-term problems.
Yeah, this is something we can fit into this for sure.
What if the Little Red Hen character is like a step above the other characters in terms of class? Like she might be upper middle and they're all lower middle.
This is something I've kind of been thinking about recently. The really old movie Intolerance.
Yes.
It's like 4 different stories about intolerance that are not told sequentially. They are intermeshed with each other. And it's like a hard cut from like ancient Babylon to then modern America.
Mm-hmm.
And they're intercut by a shot of a mother rocking a baby in a cradle, as if to imply the passage of time and the changing of generations. What if we do that? What if we don't have a Red Hen character? I just made massive finger quotes, if that's not clear in this audible medium. So we have these stories of desperate people intercut with an unrelated mother reading parts of the Red Hen story. And we don't have, like, someone filling that role in the live action segments because we kind of don't need them. Does that make sense?
That's fine.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
Yeah, because the animated segments are going to be telling the story. The audience will know which of these, or like what, the audience is primed for the vignettes.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the first thing then would be the mother reading the story, reading the first part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does she just have one kid, or are there multiple kids?
I don't even think we need to see. We're the kids.
I think we need to see, and I think there should be specifically one child in like a cradle, like a little kid.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
We don't need to get a good look at it, but we need to see that, like, there is one child and it is loved.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can directly portray that, but I think it's important that we understand this is a child that is loved. Because that's kind of maybe where a lot of this comes from.
I think it's easy enough in set dressing to do that.
Yeah. So she starts reading the story, zooms into the illustration on the book. We get that first part of the story animated, and the first part is Little Red Hen finds some wheat, right?
Yep, finds some wheat and plants it. Asks for help to plant it.
So now what's our class solidarity vignette? And I think what would really elevate this is if it had to do with, thematically, with starting something. The beginning of a process.
Head Start. Early childhood programs.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I feel like that's the one, but now we got to figure out how to make it.
Is it a new teacher starting at Head Start and being confronted with the realities of what that program looks like versus what they thought it was going to look like idealism versus quote unquote reality? Or is it more like we're the actual start of Head Start?
I feel like right now I'm thinking of Paris Je t'aime. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend. It's another movie that's a ton of vignettes around the theme of love. It emotionally devastates me every time I watch it. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
It was definitely in my mind a little bit as well.
There's one vignette where there's like a poor minority mother who wakes up before dawn and sings like a song to her little baby to soothe it back to sleep. And then she gets on like 2 trains and a bus and then another train to get to where she works as a nanny for a really rich family. And when the rich family, they just fuck off to do whatever and leave her with the baby. And when the baby starts fussing, she sings the same song to the rich people's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's close to what I'm thinking of for this, showing the difference between a family that depends on a program like Head Start versus one that doesn't.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that something we can do?
So I don't have any experience with it, personal.
I mean, I feel like it's easy enough to tell a story about, like, a rich young child and a poor young child, one having opportunities and the other not.
What if we have two kids who are friends and we start with them, like, I don't know, like, because I remember when I was growing up, in my neighborhood, parents were a little more lax about what we could and couldn't do as long as the sun was up. So I'd get up like at sunrise and head down the street to like kick a ball around with my best friend, and then because it was Saturday and he had to go to mass at some point in the day, he'd disappear. And what if we did something like that, except one of the kids is going to Head Start programs or something like that, and the other one is not, and then each beat of it progresses through time, so it's a few years down the line, and then the one kid who had access to programs
has access to a tutor in high school, while the other has to have a job.
Or like, oh, what are you doing this summer? I can't wait to go spend time at the creek. No, I'm going to science camp. My mom's sending me to science camp. Something like that. And then he's in the college prep courses or the AP courses in high school instead of the basics, so they're not in class together anymore. And then one goes to like a trade school, and we just keep seeing these characters as they re-interact over time, or how they like lose touch over time. And it used to be they spent time together every day, but because they got socially pulled in different directions because of privilege, that's the word I'm looking for. Then their relationship also starts to tear apart because they have less and less in common over time, and less of the same free time and funds to do the same kind of things.
And there needs to be a thread of the privileged one not recognizing it.
Yeah.
We're just different people, not I've had opportunities you haven't.
Exactly.
I can't believe I have to go to this stupid camp. I don't want to go to the camp. And the other kid's like playing with a rocket toy.
Like, I would kill my mother to go to that camp,
I feel like the button on that segment needs to be the underprivileged kid serving the privileged kid at like a service job.
I was going to say, like, running into them like 20 years after the last contact, and the underprivileged kid is working as a janitor in the overprivileged kid's company, and they don't even recognize each other anymore. Or the privileged doesn't recognize the underprivileged.
And I mean, these stories will be told in parallel, and pretty quickly, because it's a vignette.
Yeah.
I think the button is that as they're being served by the less privileged, he should have a line like, all it is self-determination. Bootstraps, that's all it's ever been.
Like, he overhears that on a phone call or something. Or he's getting interviewed by Forbes or some shit.
Yeah. It's at an event at his company where he's celebrating him being on Forbes. And the other one is literally like a waiter at the event.
Waiter or security?
Yeah. And I think what would really nail that is if, especially when they're younger, the underprivileged kid supports the other one through everything anyway. Like, yeah, go to space camp. You'll have a good time. Tell me all about it when you get back. Like, he's always there to support and help where he can, but he sees none of the rewards of that, emotional labor.
I feel like this is set dressing again, but the privileged kid should always have a better version of whatever the underprivileged kid has, like flip phone versus iPhone. Newer, better toy that's robot, that like remote controlled versus just
new Jordans instead of old Chucks. Like the little things.
Yeah.
Like they should both be clean and presentable, but like there should be visible wear on the poorer kids' stuff.
Yeah, that, and he seems to age a little bit faster as well. Like, I want at the end they don't even look the same age.
So that's the first vignette.
Yes.
And then we cut back to the mother in the nursery reading the story. Then the second is harvesting. Okay, I feel like this is an easy one.
All right.
Migrant farm workers?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Okay, yeah. You can get a little on the nose there.
Did you have something more better, Bill?
No, not particularly. Going with literal harvest is a really strong way to go, I think.
And I think it has to be the kind of thing where whatever they're harvesting, they don't have access to.
Avocados.
So maybe it's, or chocolate, cocoa.
Hmm.
I mean, it's one thing if you're harvesting like peaches in, what's that Steinbeck you did?
Grapes of Wrath?
Grapes of Wrath. Like, you're picking all the peaches. You can even eat some.
I'm pretty sure they were harvesting grapes, Mark. It's called the Grapes of Wrath.
No, they were harvesting wrath, Bill. It's there in the title. But you know what I'm talking about, that bit where they're harvesting peaches,
Yeah.
and as part of the job, you can have all the peaches you want. With something like cacao, like, you're not eating these beans. I'm not even entirely convinced that they're, like, edible on their own without being processed into cacao, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
thinking it on the other side. They're harvesting something like quinoa that was their staple crop, and they can't even afford to buy it at their local grocery store because it's so expensive now because white people wanted it.
We should recognize verbally that we are three white people talking about an issue that rarely affects white people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand those optics.
And I do verbally want to say that this is pretty asinine for us to be white people in a position of, you know, power and privilege, deciding that we can tell stories of other people's experiences. Like, I
Yeah.
get that is, I am a great braying jackass for saying I can do this. This is episode 5. If we get as big as I hope and dream that the treatment does get, we will eventually be able to fold in more authentic voices for a more real story.
Yes. I think we would hire a screenwriter of color for this
Oh,
segment.
several.
What do you mean? You're already diverse enough. You have a woman.
And one of us may be queer. That's 2 diversities. Government's gonna shut us down.
I like that you just did.
What if instead of doing a migrant worker harvesting story, we do corporate farming?
Okay.
I think that's also a bit more American and
It is.
affects Americans of all colors and not just non-Americans who are persecuted enough. So, thinking of the Grapes of Wrath, you know, family farm, we could even do Dust Bowl. Why not? Why be stuck in modern era? We can do a story of a family who is getting bought off their land and how that affects them. Just down the street from the Jodes.
I just had a thought that how do we more closely relate these vignettes to the Little Red Hen? Because right now the only real connection is like a logical one.
Yeah.
And I think the way we make that happen is every vignette ends with the line, "Not I."
Yes.
Okay.
So, and maybe we can even have them asked by somebody off screen for any reason, "Will you help?" "Not I."
So then that's a really good idea. So to go back to our first vignette.
Ending with the privileged one saying like it's bootstraps, it's all that's all it's ever been is personal determination. Then maybe just somebody off to the side who's just struggling with tray that's too heavy. "Hey, can you give me a hand with this?"
Can you hold the door?
"Not I."
What
Yeah.
if it's again, this is probably just set dressing and we're going back to the first vignette, but it's literally a charity gala.
Mm-hmm.
Charity's got his name on it.
Yeah.
Maybe he like opened a. Oh, maybe it's at the underprivileged kids' elementary school, and it's to open the overprivileged kid memorial gym attachment to that school. So it's like right back where they met, basically. I guess it would be both their elementary schools.
So now the second one, the farming one.
Yeah. Corporate farming.
Yeah, we could either modernize it and do a small family farm gets bought out by corporate farmers, or we could do Dust Bowl Okies, land bought by the bank.
I'm not sure one way or the other. I do have a particular, based on my history, my lived experience, I have a certain fondness for small family farms, especially those in north central Pennsylvania. If you're listening, hi, Sue. Sue won't listen to this.
No. And I mean, it wasn't necessarily farms, but my own lived experience, my dad owned a small business in Philly, and he sold it off in like 98, 99, somewhere around then, because he could see the writing on the wall with Walmart and Target and all that shit coming in. And I believe that lot is now a parking lot for a convenience store. So, yeah, I remember that whole era of big box stores being like a real nervous time in my household.
So just to refocus, then, I think we want to tell a farm story.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm trying to like remember the kind of events that I recall and how we could relate them to the farm.
What if it is the families clearing out their house because they have already sold, and they're talking about their memories and stuff in the either house, or maybe they have a little storefront where they used to sell their produce, and somebody comes up and asks them about it. They're like, oh, sorry, we sold. This was our last year. Because I'm thinking we do need to keep it short.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a quick way to bring across that, like, loss and...
it could just be as simple as a family of 4 or 5 in the house cleaning and reminiscing until maybe the last thing that happens is someone who comes once a year, every year to buy peaches or whatever orders, like, can you help me? I need a dozen peaches. And then that's the not I. They've been bought off the land.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's good.
Doesn't have to be fancy.
The third one, milling.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where we get to industry, who will take this, take the grain to the mill to make it flour. As long as we've been kind of on the nose so far, I see no reason to stop. What if we make this one more almost documentary? Just straight up a mini doc on the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory.
I like where you're at with mini doc. What if it's like an OSHA safety video?
That is way better than the idea I had. It kills me. It kills me to say that specific phrase of words in that order. But Bill, the person who's not me, the idea you had is way better than the idea I had.
Listen, I wouldn't have come to it at all if it wasn't for your good idea.
Well, thank you for your kind lie. OSHA safety video.
Yeah, because let's agree, that's one of the best episodes of SpongeBob, right? It's the fake Krabby Patty video.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I think this is where we can do some comedy. Because we just had some
we
pretty
need some
sad stuff.
We
I
need
think we need to bring in some levity here. How extremely violent can we make this fake OSHA safety video?
Instead of extremely violent, because that's not my kind of humor, and I'm sorry.
But I mean, like comically violent, like
even that isn't necessary. Like I don't
mannequin arm, and he's like squirting the ketchup bottle, like oh no, not even. Okay.
What I'm thinking is one thing that I love is bringing eyeballs to other creators. I think this would be like a Hugbees video. Specifically those Hugbees videos that get demonetized because it's just taking the video from somewhere else and redubbing it.
So, for those who aren't familiar with Hugbees, it's like, imagine you're watching How Did This Get Made? No, that's a podcast. Imagine you're watching How It's Made on the Discovery Channel, and this guy just Mystery Science Theatered himself into the narrator and just makes jokes based on what you're seeing. Check him out. He's great. He's on YouTube.
He's made a couple of safety videos, too. In fact, just this week, he uploaded a video that pretends to be a safety video from Nintendo.
Ooh.
But it's clearly from, like, Walmart.
So, now I'm in the camp of straight up just finding an old, like, 50s workplace safety video like they used to do on MST3K and just redoing the fucking whole thing.
Redoing it, like almost straight up.
Yeah.
Like MST3K would still do it like they're 3 guys watching a thing and making fun of it. This is the old thing and
right.
a new... So it's not MST3K-ing it, it's Kung Pao-ing it.
Yes. Oh, the look on Cody's face of just exasperation.
I also have an eyelash in my eye, but yes, it's mostly exasperation.
Yes, I too feel great shame and displeasure when I think that the greatest movie of all time has like a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep, it's sad.
And then it can just end with And that concludes our safety orientation. Do you have any questions?
Not high.
Not I.
My God, that's so good. I don't think there's anything more to it than that. At that point, it's just writing jokes.
Yeah. So then the next part is making the flour into dough.
Mm-hmm.
Although, just for the sake of saying this out loud, that wasn't in the original, in the sense that making dough and baking it were kind of all in the same process.
Yeah.
So if we don't want to, we don't have to separate, we can have 4 acts instead of 5. If we don't want to have to come up with an extra one, this is where we can condense them.
Okay, so I'm looking at structure, and right now we have 2 downers and then an upper, and eating is gonna be an upper.
Yes.
So the real question is, are we gonna do 2 more downers, or are we just gonna do one maybe double length downer? Because we're not gonna end on 3 straight uppers, or 2 straight uppers, because then the last one won't hit as hard.
Yeah.
So
this is hard, coming up with multiple stories. I know that we had this idea of making a podcast specifically to come up with stories. I thought I'd only have to come up with one at a time.
So this is...
If you want, we can split this into 6 separate episodes.
That'll take months!
So this is milling... Oh, we
did milling. Milling was the OSHA safety.
So this is the mixing and kneading process getting into baking?
Yeah. We can either do one of mixing and one of baking, or one that is both mixing and baking.
I think mixing and baking
I do
together
too.
is one.
I'm leaning into that as well. I think this is where we get into labor. Either
more into labor.
Yeah, either a unionization effort or something like that, because I think we know enough that we could do, a 10 or 20 minute short, even if we're not doing a 90-minute feature.
Instead of a unionization effort, what about a strike? Because I'm thinking all the content that we got out of the writer's strike, an animation guild strike, with all Adam Conover and Brendan Lee Mulligan and that kind of shit from the writer's strike. Was that last year or 2 years ago? I don't even remember.
I don't think strike works, because that's when the labor stops. And this is the most labor intensive part of maybe...
It's all labor intensive.
It's all labor intensive, you're right. But when I think of kneading dough, I think of fucking work. You're putting your fucking shoulders into that shit. That is a very physical task. Whereas farming is often done with the help of machines. Same with planting, same with milling. The whole thing about the milling was that they're these big machines that could hurt you. This is just your fucking hands and your muscles, and you're doing it. You know what I mean? So I feel like strike doesn't
strike the right tone.
Exactly. It's a really winded way to word that.
What if...
And also the idea of baking, the oven is on. It's hot. It's sweaty. I'd almost want to set something in a fucking steel mill on this one. Or a laundry. We just do that, first act of Wonka.
Yeah, I'm thinking, again, is it too on the nose to do an actual bakery?
Well, see, the thing about baking, a bakery specifically, is that you also have to be up 4 a.m.
Yeah. Or we've kind of already done coffee shop, but coffee shop and pastry shop, place that offers pastries and coffee. It's open early.
What if it's a kitchen on a Friday night, at a restaurant?
Boiling Point?
Boiling Point, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of areas of modern society we haven't touched on yet. We've got factories, we've got farmland, we've got the suburbs. Let's get into, customer service, that kind of area. You know what I mean?
Sorry to bother you.
Call center?
Call center would be cool.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
Theme park on a holiday. Those workers aren't unionized. You're dealing with the worst and most entitled of the general public, and it's probably hot outside.
The treatment will return after these messages.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
We now return to The Treatment, a podcast about stories.
All right. So before I lost a pound of liquid weight, what were we talking about? Making dough?
Cody had the, I think, very good idea of the last work vignette being something in a theme park on a holiday.
Okay.
Not unionized, working with the worst behaved and most entitled of the general public.
Water park, and it's like 104 outside. Like...
Wait. Water park? Specifically action park.
I also don't want to get sued.
They're dead! They can't sue you!
Action park is too much fun. I'm thinking like those shitty Boardwalk, New Jersey water parks that are like 4 real slides and a lazy river. 4th of July weekend, and it's like 97 degrees outside.
And humid.
And fucking Do the Right Thing happens in a water park.
Yeah. My only concern right now is that it feels like a lot of the vignettes we've been doing, we've been relying on, and then this movie happens.
This is the one we need to actually flesh out, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's name some characters here.
Well, before we name some characters, what is the problem, for lack of a better... What is the conflict? What is the focus of the conflict?
So, I want this... If you're not familiar with the film Do the Right Thing, pause the podcast, watch it, then come back and tell us how it was.
It was good. I liked it.
It's a fucking brilliant movie. Over the course of a day in a Brooklyn neighborhood, various characters around the hood, their interpersonal conflicts come to a boiling point as the day gets hotter, ending with a murder by police and a pizza shop burning down. Spoilers for a movie older than I am. So I would want interpersonal relationships, like maybe 2 of the lifeguards just broke up, but they're assigned to the same slide. Someone fucked up and spends the whole day thinking they're going to get fired. How is that affecting them? I'm trying to think of other like random like workplace things. And you get maybe 5 or 6 characters that all have different interpersonal relationships and drama building over the course of the day. And then at the end of the day, it's like 3 p.m., the day's at its hottest, something happens that causes the eruption.
What if before, like a few days ago, an employee was involved in a fatal accident?
Ooh.
And that's just kind of like hovering over everybody.
Yeah.
By which I mean like an employee died at work, not an employee was watching over when like a customer got killed.
What if an employee died at work in an after-hours event? Like
yesterday?
Yeah. Or recently. Within the last 2 or 3 days. I don't want to set a time on it yet because I'm not sure where we're going with this just yet.
Maybe the lead into that is just a shot of a newspaper of like employee death at water park investigated.
I think this background needs to get revealed over the course of the thing.
What if the employee doesn't actually die at the water park? They die as a result of they worked like a 16-hour day and got in a car accident on their way home and died. Plausible deniability for the employer, but everyone around them would be like, yeah, we can't fucking keep doing this.
Now I'm thinking we keep throwing out the names of movies and giving our listeners homework. La Hen, the employee who was injured in some way at work, is now like clinging to life off screen, and then when they get the news that he's dead, that's like the spark of the climax.
Here we go. We're cooking. Because the employees that were friends with this person, they all have their various relationships. Like maybe one of them is a romantic partner, someone's like a childhood best friend.
Sibling.
Maybe you've got a sibling in there. So they're terrified that they're going to lose this person close to them. Management is getting on them because they're short-staffed that day. And management keeps vocally being worried about being sued. Because whatever it was happened on company property.
What if the actual, like, tipping point is management tells one of them to put away their phones when they're getting the text that they died?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And, like, it's literally like, put your phone away, you're on the clock, phone, pocket, right hook.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they get told to put their phone away throughout. And it's not just getting told to put it away. I've told you 3 times today to put it away. You're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they fucking swing.
Yeah. It's like one hand pulling off the apron, next hand, like, okay, phone away, apron, punch.
And I'm trying to figure out how to get there. I want this person, after they're fired, they no longer are employed. In all the chaos, a kid starts drowning, and they're the ones to notice and save the kid still.
Okay. I feel like we're coming up to the limit of stuffing the turkey.
Yeah, that's about as far as I think we could go with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, right then is where, like, maybe the drowning kid's parents is, like, maybe they didn't even see it happen. Oh, thank you, who got in and saved my son? I want to thank them. And then the guy who did it says, not I, and leaves.
No. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Now here's the thought that I had before I said I like that. He's just got fired. Child is drowning. Panicked parent says, won't you save my baby? Hard cut to black. Because everyone up to this point, we did end with the not I. Do you think we can trust the audience to remember that and think it still is implied, while also leaving them in that limbo of uncertainty if they do or don't? Or is that overstuffing the turkey?
I like that idea a lot. It's trusting the audience. And that kind of shit, when you trust your audience and it hits. So I love that idea. Where I'm thinking is now, do we come back to this story in eating? You know, in our last vignette, do we bring back characters from the other ones?
No.
Okay.
But over the credits, maybe we have some more, like, brief glimpses of all the stories.
Okay. Because I was thinking your idea, hard cut. She reads the next chapter or the last bit, where the hen's like, nah, I get to eat it. Fuck you guys. And then it comes back to him rescuing the baby. Like, we go right back into the same vignette. But that might be asking too much. That's overstuffing the turkey.
My thought was, when it goes to the black, what I'm viewing here is the lifeguard is distracted because the lifeguard is one of the loved ones, right? And that's why the lifeguard isn't paying attention at that exact second. Mm-hmm. And you have the other thing is that this vignette, I want it to be almost like shot as if from a point of view, not hardcore Henry, but like kind of hardcore Henry.
Like shot like handycam style, or steadicam style rather. Just a lot of movement in the, like, stylistically, like the camera's moving through crowds and catching glimpses of what other people are saying before settling in on a conversation, that kind of thing.
Diegetically, like it would have been filmed on somebody's phone. A guest at the park.
No, I'm thinking more, this is like it's coming from, like, you are seeing what the character would see, because what I almost want to happen is the fade to black is them closing their eyes and taking a breath.
I think you can still pull that off without doing the whole vignette POV, because it sounds like you're talking about Peep Show.
What I'm sorry, but I have this very, very solid picture in my head of the last shot of a camera zooming in on a almost shell-shocked face while a parent is, like, jostling, will you save my baby? Black and white, zoom in, like eyes open, mouth slightly slack, hard cut to black.
And that would be the manager that it ends on, right?
No, that's the,
No, I think it's whoever just got fired.
Because they, like, walked out of whatever office they were in.
Okay, yeah. Do we want to flesh out some more beats of this, or?
I think we're good. Okay. I mean, we're doing on this episode in general, we're doing a lot of hand waving.
Yeah, just
But
so we're not here for
with
4
vignettes,
hours.
I feel like it's something we can hand wave a lot of. Just tell these stories. There's the boy or girlfriend, the sibling, the best friend, the guy who is clinging to life in the ICU because of too much work or a work
Yeah.
injury, and the manager. Like, it's up to the dialogue writer to make up the rest of that.
Gotcha. I still think we have something real good there.
Yeah.
That'll be a real gut punch before we get to the last one, which is eating.
And this is another one where I think we need to fight about. Specifically, does it end with a screw you, I'm the only one eating? Or does it end with a you've got to try harder next time? And, because of my Christian background, I'm sorry, I am a Christian.
Don't
I
apologize.
want to use the word grace. Like, you didn't work to make this happen, but I'm extending the grace to you to participate anyway, and the reminder that you have to try harder next time. Because I don't think I want to end it with spite. I think I want to end it with a call to action.
So here's my opinion on this. I mentioned before the beats. Downer, downer, upper. Big downer, big upper.
Big upper, yeah.
But I also want to make a movie here that we can get as many eyes on it as possible, because we are being a little on the nose with some of the messaging. So it needs to end on an upper for the whole audience. And now, while I may personally want to end this with a political revolution that ends, in a communist utopia, fight me, my grandmother, that will not be satisfying for the entire audience. I think you're right. I think we do need to end with grace. Will it weaken the punch a little bit? Possibly.
Because we keep throwing around names of media, and here I'm just going to kind of snur out my fancy guy mustache a little bit. I want to say the Threepenny Opera. Bill, remember Threepenny?
I sure do.
How does Threepenny end? For those who are unaware of the Threepenny Opera, it ends with the convicted and definitely very bad guy killer Mac Heath with his neck in the noose. And then all of a sudden somebody shows up like, I have a message from the Queen. He is to be pardoned and also given a stipend and land and a chateau. And then like at the end of the Charlie Brown Christmas, everybody just kind of turns to the camera and is like, hey, listen, this is all fantasy. In the real world, there's no happy endings. So, look at your neighbor and make sure they're actually doing okay. Because this isn't going to happen for them. Do we want to end that way, maybe?
I'm super grateful that you remember how Threepenny ends, because all I remember from that last bit was pointing at our friend's ass.
Yes, I remember that part too.
Yes, same song, different lyrics. Anywho.
Yes.
So my brain went right back to the parody well again. And doing, as weird as this sounds, a fake, pharmaceutical ad. Those, 6.5 minute ads that are the entire commercial break when you're watching sports? I know neither of you watch sports. And it's, just one person talking about camera about how happy their life is, but also listing off these crazy side effects.
It's we're giving the audience so many homework assignments. The Colorado music video for the song Desire 158.
Yes. Yeah, that kind of energy of...
Side effects may include hair loss, chair loss, care loss, finger growth.
I think there's a spot for... Maybe it's too wacky after what we just did, but, side effects of eating include staying alive. Shit like that. I'm not quite sure how to land this plane.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's the way to do it.
Nah. But hey, like you said, throw out the bad ideas before we can get to the good ones.
Here's another bad one. Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. So much homework this episode. But how at the end, when they get to the afterlife, and then they just bring back all of the characters from all of the sketches earlier in the movie. Let's not do that. That's bad. We shouldn't do that.
Okay, because I was thinking, could we still? Let's not.
We absolutely could. We shouldn't.
Now I'm thinking the end of a big 50s movie musical where all the characters come back and sing one last song on stage, even the dead ones.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay. But you've been hearing us out.
Taco Bell. The lobby of a Taco Bell, and all of our characters pass through it.
Hold on. Close. If we're going to end with grace, we need to find a place in society that is a great equalizer, and then something happens and everyone comes together, even the fat cats and the little red hens and the porky pigs and the ducks, goose. Sorry, ducks, geese. Pardon my grammar.
Ducks, geese, and also gray ducks. We also have a very large number of listeners in Minnesota.
Also the gray goose that could use some of. Do you guys remember the episode of Hey Arnold where they get stuck on the subway?
Barely.
Yes.
Okay. Google that, children. Something along those lines. Like, where could we get characters from all walks of life? And I mean in a class way, not culturally. But culturally as well, because those go hand in hand in this country. Where can we get them all together and have something occur that brings us hope? That the community comes together as a community and not as individuals and works for the whole of the community.
Traffic jam.
Fuck yes.
Pregnant lady gives birth.
Yes. Because unfortunately in this country we don't have good enough public transit over long enough distances that everyone gets stuck in traffic sometimes.
And you've got person with driver. You could even have a bus on there, stuck in the traffic jam.
Yeah.
Possible taxi, various cars that everyone else can be in.
So you have tourists as well?
Uber drivers.
Let's just assume this is LA, because where else in the States is this going to happen?
I mean, you specifically said Jersey.
Well, that was the last...
That was the water park.
They're different vignettes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Different vignette. The farm ones in, like, Pennsylvania.
Fair.
The Head Start ones in Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a doctor being driven to a conference.
Yeah, I like the idea of a pregnant lady. We need to get, like, who's the rich, stuck-up asshole lawyer? Like, how's he helping out? Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to get into with this one. You know? Like, who's in this traffic jam, and how will everyone chip in? That's the goal.
And I feel like in order to... Here comes Mr. Man saying, let's not forget about men. But specifically, because of the nature of what's happening, what does a lady need to give birth to a baby? By which I mean, like, I'm thinking about all these scenes I've seen before. Mm-hmm. You need somebody to say push. You need towels and hot water. So that's like 2 things. We need to come up with more things to need. So, like, there's got to be the dad. Then he can also need things.
Painkillers. Maybe there's got to be a doctor on his way to a conference. He happens to know what to do here. And she's complaining about it hurting. Anybody have anything? And a junkie on the bus is like, I got morphine, man. And he's like, you know what? I'm a medical doctor.
That is funny what you've just said. I'm afraid of actually doing it.
Fair enough.
We need hot water. Well, one of these is a family that's got an RV. We've got an electric stove. We can have it boiling in 8 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, we need towels. Oh, we're coming back from our beach trip because we're tourists. We've got some spare towels.
And maybe the asshole lawyer rich guy has cigars for dad.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. That's fine.
Asshole rich lawyer guy is an older, like, he's in, like, his 60s, and he's like, yes. Cigars.
From the era where that's the thing, where when a baby is born, you hand out cigars.
But I'm also thinking, like, I remember when my grandson was born, you know.
Oh, I was thinking the lawyer is the slick dude with the car phone from the movie Cellular. But, no, I like the idea. He goes to give one to Dad. Dad is, like, not having it, so he just hands one to the bus driver or something. They bond over that.
Is it too weird and Jesus-y if the couple is not white?
No.
I was going to say this couple needs to be maybe even same-sex.
No. But biracial.
Yeah.
Just because, and I'm sorry that I'm a million years old, but part of me still thinks same-sex couple having a baby, I don't think that'll fly with a lot of America, with, like, middle America.
Maybe there's a same-sex couple with a kid that gives them advice or something. That gives dad advice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your first. Oh, we remember our first. You know, that kind of thing. She carried the first 2. I carried the second 2. Like, that's where it cuts off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, you've got me back on board.
Yeah. And then it ends with them doing a song and dance number on the hoods of their car like La La Land, right?
You know what? I want to say yes. Like, I know you were saying that kind of ironically.
I was, but I wouldn't hate it.
But and specifically, I want there to be like, you know, that old Vaseline on the screen thing, on the lens thing, where everything gets kind of hazy,
Mm-hmm.
and we lean into the 3 penny of it. And the song and dance can be about like, this is a movie, this is fantasy, but there are people living real lives, and we need to work together to make a happy ending for everybody.
Yeah. Like, maybe even the song opens up in the traffic jam. Like, the mom who just gave birth, it's the first... No, it wouldn't be the first thing we hear from her. Oh, the baby starts the song. That's... No, I'm just kidding. that one's a joke. Maybe the mom starts the song, and then, like, she has the first couple of lines of the first verse, and then it works back. So we get our guy coming up from the water, rescuing the drowning kid, sings his few lines. We go back, somebody falling from a ladder sings a couple lines. The lady sadly buying her peaches at Walmart instead of the family farm she likes sings a couple lines.
I want to be supportive, but I want to say no.
That's all right.
Instead, I think everybody involved in the birth vignette has a line.
Okay.
The chorus of the kids in the school bus, the family from the RV with the hot water, the rich lawyer asshole with the cigars. Like, everybody has a bit about doing their fair share. And then that, what you said, like where we get the lifeguard saving from the fourth vignette and the person from the second, I think that's all like brief cuts during the closing credits.
Okay, that's fair.
With no dialogue.
I would say we get this song, the verse, and then a big chorus part, and then into the credits after the chorus. And so it would be the second verse of the song, but without lyrics. Like, just a nice, like, French horn doing the melody or whatever.
Okay.
And that's when we get the, like, little shots of he saves the kid, someone catches the guy, or, like, reaches a hand out and prevents the guy from falling off the ladder. Maybe the farmers,
the two friends from the first one reconcile.
Yeah. Like, he catches his eye at the event. He didn't even realize he was going to be working it, and then they, like, hug and catch up. Ebenezer Scrooge comes back and hands the family the deed to their farm. I don't know how to where to reconcile that one.
So I feel like because of the nature of the thing we've just made, I don't think that casting it, which is normally one of the last things we do, I don't think this is one we cast right now.
No, because there's still a lot of, like, characters to flesh out in each of the individual vignettes.
Yeah.
But I think we have something strong.
I think we have something very strong.
It's something different, too. Like, there aren't a lot of movies like this, and probably because it's hard to do well and it's a bit of a gimmick, but I'm not afraid of a bit of a gimmick.
And again, throwing to Paris Je T'aime, I think you have to throw each vignette to a different director.
Mm-hmm. Instead of casting, do we want to, like, not necessarily individual directors, but vibes for each of these? Or do you think we did enough of that already? What with Do the Right Thing in a water park?
I feel like right now it would be helpful for all of us to remember what the vignettes are.
I wrote them
First
down.
one... Oh, good. Please read them.
Okay, so the first one for the Little Red Hen needs oh my god. The Little Red Hen needs help planting. We have two children, one who is privileged, one is not, and how that privilege affects their lives and relationships. For harvesting, we have a family about to lose their family farm as they reminisce on the good old days and what brought them to this point. For milling, we have a fake OSHA safety video full of humor and a little too real sometimes humor, probably. For mixing dough and baking, we have Do the Right Thing in a water park. And for eating, we have a traffic jam where everyone gathers together and as a community helps a woman give birth, ending in a song and dance.
I like it. I feel like this one's going to be hard to come up with a title.
I want the title to be plural.
Stories from America.
Half the country won't see that.
American Fable.
American Hens. Hens across America.
I feel like they're all wrong, but that last one is the closest.
Because my initial thought was just hens.
The Little Red Hen and Other Stories.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Because that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And what's the poster? Poster and tagline are the only two things.
So the poster, I was thinking of that guy that did all those classic posters, those classic painted ones.
Drew Struzan?
Drew Struzan, thank you. Drew Struzan style, like, if you're familiar with his style, it's... Oh, fuck, I don't even know how to describe it.
He did, like, Back to the Future and Raiders of the Lost Ark and...
Star Wars.
Yeah, he tended to have, like, either a box or an
like
arch.
everybody's face, in a way.
Yeah, and there'd be, like, a big character in the middle and then smaller characters around is generally how he would do it.
So, okay, you know that really iconic image of Star Wars 1 with Anakin walking in the shadow as Darth Vader?
Yes.
Little Red Hen, and in the silhouette are little bits of the vignette. The different vignettes.
Or what if, like, the big part of the Struzan poster is the hen, and inside the hen are the faces of the different main characters of the different vignettes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of along the same
And then
lines
outside
there.
the hen on the round side are, like, you know, the cat and the goose and the pig and the hippo and whatever else is on that farm.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that's what you just described. That's really good, and I love that. And I'm pausing for a moment because I'm going to shit on it. I'm sorry. That is the cover of the book being held by the mother. And that's the poster. Like...
Okay, so it's still like 60 to 70% of the poster is what I described, but it's the cover of a book that you can see be clearly... Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Does this one get or need a tagline?
I think the "and other stories" counts as a tagline. I don't think it needs a tagline.
I feel like if anything, the tagline could be The American Fable and Other Stories.
Or just The American Fable.
Yeah.
American Fables.
Yeah.
As the title?
No, as the tagline.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like on the top, the Little Red Hen, little smaller words, and other stories. And at the bottom, American Fables. ...
Okay. Yeah. The only thing with American Fables is it feels like it's going to... Do you remember the movie Edge of Tomorrow and how they basically changed the title to Live, Die, Repeat because that was the tagline and it was a better title?
No, I am not aware of this film.
Oh, it's the Tom Cruise one where he relives the same day? Groundhog Day, but space aliens? Every time
I
he
know
dies,
that they
he resets.
parodied it on American Dad in the episode titled Yuletide Repeat. It was
Yeah.
a Christmas episode.
It was based off a Japanese light novel, and the title was Edge of Tomorrow. And the tagline the studio gave it was Live, Die, Repeat. But everyone just preferred that as a title, so everyone just called it that, and then it was released on Blu-ray as Live, Die, Repeat, with the tagline Edge of Tomorrow.
So maybe this one then just doesn't even need a tagline.
Yeah.
Just Little Red Hen and Other Stories.
Little Red Hen and Other American Fables?
Nah, Other
Okay.
Stories.
Other Stories works. Because I like the term American Fables, I do.
They're not even fables. They're a little bit too grounded.
Well, that's the thing, is I like that the fable is that fable has that element of, like, not realism, and these are, like, a little bit idealized.
Yeah. Either way, I think we got something really good here.
I think we've got something that A, I would pay to see,
Yeah.
and B, I feel like 20 years afterwards,
It's in every fucking AP English course.
AP English and like college classes on society and film.
It is definitely a film school movie. Just pushing form. I like it.
And you can see it in theaters this October.
You're not going with the 4th of July? This is a 4th of July release date.
It's not a summer blockbuster though.
It is if you cast it
This
right.
is a movie that you watch while like stroking your chin.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Yeah, this is definitely the February release.
A vignettes movie, even if you stuff it with the biggest names you can afford, doesn't get blockbuster buzz. This is a chin stroker of a February release, if ever I've seen one.
Absolutely.
So let's press it on vinyl and slide it under a door at Paramount.
Woohoo!
This has been The Treatment, a podcast about stories. I've been your host, Mark Lucas.
Billy Beck?
Cody Beck.